how you're doing. Don't... Oh. I try to do exactly that, only to sway dizzily when I move too fast. The nerve moves to support me. Oh my god. Oh my god. Some mort. I'm almost on my orange drink. I try to do exactly that, only to sway dizzily when I move too fast. The nerve moves to support me by my arm and size. Stand up too quickly is what I was going to say. Just sit there. I'll check your pressure to make sure. My good intention sure lasted for a long time. I shut up, embarrassed with myself, while the nurse gets busy with an old-fashioned contraption on my arm. After a couple of minutes, he puts it away, looking neither pleased nor unhappy. You're alright. Head stopped spinning? Yeah. Good, and how are the contents doing? You didn't show very good judgment out there, Hisao. I swallowed the retort I was going to make. That's what I was thinking myself, but hearing it said by someone else makes me want to protest. What he's saying is not pleasant to hear. It doesn't make him any less right. No, sir. He nods, still looking as neutral as he was before. It'd be easy to be angry at him if he said, I told you so or something, but he doesn't. I can try and help you to keep your health, but ultimately the last call lies with you. Hopefully this little episode will be something that will remind you of that. Here, a note for your teacher, to avoid an interrogation. Take the slip of paper he's offering, and then make my leave as I can't think of anything else to say. Nor even really want to. Stay out of trouble, you hear me? I don't think it was anything but a scare, but next time could be different. I hear you. There's some way to get to the school building straight from the auxiliary building, but I'm not keen to find out and possibly get lost, so I go from the exit that I know works. I stop at the stairs of the auxiliary building, deliberating for a moment between going to the dorms to get my books and stuff, and going straight away to the class. The sun stings my eyes, so I head toward the dorms. It's gonna be Kenji. Wait, these aren't dorms. This is a school. Oh, okay, because we're going to school. The halls are quiet, as the courtyard was naturally, so since everyone was in class. I knock lightly at the door of 3-3 and push open the door when Matao calls from the other side. Sorry I'm late. 15 pairs of eyes turn to me. Good morning, Nakai. Matao seems to be somewhat confounded by my coming late, as if I interrupted his flow or something. Judging from his rambling lectures his classes tend to be, that might be the case. Pass him the note the nurse gave me. Matao takes it with a nod and reads it quickly. He lifts his eyebrow and gives me a kind of stern look, but doesn't say anything, just nods solemnly again. I shrug, and he gestures at me to run along, so I naturally do. Shutter shade. The class goes on lazily. I think I'm starting to get into the rhythm of the school. I've even stopped worrying about taking notes and being overly attentive. The first days, I was pretty high-strung in class. Matao finishes his lecture about electricity early, but continues without a pause about the festival. So as you know, the festival is going on the day after tomorrow. I hope everyone's projects are going to be successful this year. Have a good time, but also come Sunday. Please keep the meaning of this festival in your minds. Games and fried food! Everyone bursts out into laughter, and so do I. Yes, thank you, Mikado. But what I meant was more the remainder of the sentence is buried beneath the ring of the lunch bells, and everyone starts packing their things. Matao deliberates for a moment, but since almost nobody seems to pay attention anymore, he gives up and sits down. It's crowded in the hallway, or as crowded as the hallway in the school will probably get. Most of the students seems to be heading down for the cafeteria, because it's lunch. Of course, where the fuck would they go? Normally I'd join the flow and grab a lunch myself, but today it's different. Today we're going to the roof. Today I've been invited to lunch on the roof. An odd location, but that's where I was told to go. Fortunately, I managed to find shelter from the storm in the lee of the classroom door. Eventually the torrent subsides and I step tentatively out into the hallway, only to be met by Emmy, who comes flouncing down the hallway like a cannonball. Hey! Hi, Hisao! Great timing! I have super extra lunch today as promised. Let's go upstairs. The stairway to the roof is a little dilapidated, but it's clearly been used recently. At the top of the stairs is the door, complete with missing padlock. I wonder who the intrepid individual was that removed the lock. Emmy shoves the door open and steps beaming into the sunlight. Suddenly a tall, dark stranger appears out of nowhere, standing imposingly in front of us. Emmy flinches back, almost falling back down the stairs. Eek! Strange girl. Hello. It's not strange girl, it's fucking Rin. Yipes, you scared me, Rin. Wait, isn't she... Hello. Noticing that Rin is speaking to me, Emmy looks curiously at me. You two know each other? I look confusedly at Emmy. She's that friend of yours. Rin has turned her gaze towards the clouds drifting above the school. I didn't know you knew this person, Emmy. dot dot dot. So, the awkward silence only lasts for a few seconds until Emmy lets out a tiny giggle, shrugging the coincidence off. I invited Hisao for lunch. If you know him, that's just better. Oh, does this mean I don't get food? Or did you invite him for lunch without the lunch? Neither. I have food for 3. Nice thinking. I walked to the other end of the roof while I stayed at the clock tower for a while, taking in the atmosphere. There's nobody else but us here. I guess the roof is not as popular as it is in the other schools. A few rundown benches and tables are scattered around the edges, perhaps in an attempt to make their rooftop look less desolate. The small pebbles covering the roof rattle beneath our feet. I peek through the chain-link fence to take a look at the school grounds and beyond. Students are strolling in pairs and groups around the quadrangle and at the cafeteria. A few delivery trucks are driving past the school towards a convenience store nearby. Somewhere a watchdog barks at a passerby. Somehow, when I look towards the town center, the small town feel strikes me very strongly, almost palpably. The hectic lifestyle of big metropolises seems so far away and foreign here. Nobody has to run to catch a bus like their life depended on it, or get their senses overloaded by the neon lights and traffic jams. I feel surprisingly optimistic about this new life of mine, looking at my new hometown, even if it's going to be mine for only one short year. Finding out about my illness and having to move away from home and all came so suddenly I hadn't had time to think about how I feel about it. When I step out of the shadow of the clock tower to the open, I feel warmth touching my back. The sun shines from a perfectly clear, cerulean sky. A cool breeze sweeping over the rooftop makes me shiver, but only briefly. The wind carries the scent of trees and flowers, not smog and car exhaust like it used to just a few weeks ago. Ew. Emmy settles on a bench with Rin in tow and produces 1 big and 2 small lunchboxes from her bag. Come on, Hisao, what are you waiting for? She is beckoning me to join them, making room on the already small bench. No, that was really odd. I seat myself on the corner of the bench to take as little space as possible. It's pretty cramped, but somehow all 3 of us fit on it. Impressive view. Emmy suppresses a giggle and places the lunchbox in front of Rin and hands another lunchbox to me. Here you go, lunch, as promised. Homemade, no less. I'm impressed. Wow, this looks really good. Thanks, I made it myself when I can. Conversation dies off as I said about the business of feeding myself. Taking a few bites, I glance up and notice Rin deftly opening the lunchbox and popping a forkful of food in her mouth using only her feet. Even though I've seen it before, I can't help but be impressed at her dexterity. It also reminds me of the sort of place I am right now. Will I ever get used to such sights as this? I can't decide if getting used to such a thing would be good or a bad thing either. Does getting used to this place mean I'm giving up being a normal person? No. Or does it, yeah, this is what I was gonna say. Or does it just mean that I'm becoming more understanding about those around me? I'm distracted from my thoughts by the sight of Emmy tearing into her lunch as if I had insulted her ancestors. You seem pretty hungry. Emmy looks up, mouth half full, and swallows before nodding. My morning run always works up an appetite. Which is great, because then I burn through lunch pretty quickly. Helps me keep my girlish figure. What would happen if you lose it? Would you become a man? I very nearly choke on my lunch trying not to laugh. It's a figure of speech. Does your figure have to run in the mornings too? Do you always talk like this? Talk like what? Like what? Oh shit, I did it again. God damn it. I think that answers my question. Never mind. So, struggle to think of a small talk and settle on the obvious question. How'd you two meet? Rin seems content to let Emmy answer this question. Someone in the housing department thought we complement each other well, so we are assigned rooms next to one another. Complement each other? Like shoes in a suit. Huh? Emmy giggles at my confusion. Put us together and we've got all our limbs. Get it? Oh my god. So I started helping Rin get ready in the mornings, and that was that. I mean, you can't help someone get dressed every morning and not get along. I see. Rin chose this moment to interject. I have trouble with shirts. Right, that seems fairly obvious. Really? Oh, oops, I can go back? I can scroll back? Oh man, that's cool. Really? Kind of? This isn't helping, but at least Emmy seems to find the whole thing funny. She's got like that, you know, like that 3 emoticon face. It's like the dot and the 3. That's what that face is a little bit. That combined with the fact that Rin is genuinely curious makes me feel slightly better and yet confused. I mean, you've got no arms, so putting on a shirt seems like one of those things that would be